Hi, Seela. Okay, just explaining the workout that I did this morning. I took the fit part, I adapted the cross training workout from today, which is probably what I'll just do each week, I guess. So I only had 3 people in my class, so we started out, oh, I have poison oak on my arm if you're wondering what that is. It looks really bad. So I only had 3 people, so we did traveling stuff for the warm-up, but I don't know if you'll be able to do that tomorrow morning since 6 a.m. is starting to get kind of big. But we started with traveling toe touches, so just taking a step, opposite hand to the toe, and then monster kicks right here. I think you can just do these all stationary if you need to. Ankle grabs right here. Lunge to a knee hug. These are pretty self-explanatory. I think you know these, but single leg touchdown right here. And then I had them go to their mats and we did stationary lunge to hamstring stretch. So basically started in a lunge and then you can rock back to a hamstring stretch, or with your knee on the ground, lunge, and then sit your hips on your heels, hamstring stretch, lunge, hamstrings, and then arm circles, then hip circles, then knee circles, and then ankle circles. Took about like 7 minutes. So it's perfect. I had 2 very new girls in the class, so I adjusted this a little bit for them. But the first round we did Tabata, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and I only went through each exercise 4 times. We did squat jumps, then push-ups, then jump ropes, ball ups, thigh busters. Round 2, I did a 4-minute AMRAP. You could probably do 5. We were moving a little bit slower just because I did have the very, very new girls. I had them do a full building lap if they were running, or out the back door, in the front door if they were walking, and then dumbbell W raise. You can change this out if you want. It was kind of funky, but it was in the workout, so I just tried it. Holding the dumbbells in your hands, and you just basically rotate your shoulders right there. 10 of those, and then 10 bent over flies, and then put a loop band, so they need a loop band and a pair of dumbbells and a jump rope. Loop band around their ankles, and then 10, you can alternate or do 10 on each side, lateral leg raises. Then round 3, we did like a 4-ish minute AMRAP with 50 jump ropes, then 10 alternating side lunge to a high knee. I had them do 10 on each side and then switch, but in the video she had them alternate. Then 10 arch ups, and then 10 Spider-Mans, which I think you probably know these. We do them, I think, somewhat regularly. Knee to elbow. Or balance level on your knees, knee to elbow. Okay, so this is the part you really need me to explain, which is flow. So I had them started kneeling. I had a super newbie who hadn't been to the gym like in years, and didn't really have much mobility, so I adjusted this a lot. So we started in kneeling, but we had a couple, one of the girls say crisscross applesauce, but we just had them grab their wrist, reach overhead, shoulders away from your ears, just kind of take a couple deep breaths here. I also invite them to take off their shoes in flow, which I don't know if all the coaches do, but it feels so much better if you take off your shoes, especially when you're doing like this kind of sitting, you know, like yoga. I mean, yeah. So, and then we did that, and then exhale, and then inhale back up the other side, kind of just pulling and getting like side body stretch, just a big reach. And then we did eagle pose, so one arm under the other. Try and keep your elbows nice and high. So you're about right here, stretching your shoulder blades, and then switch sides. And then we did reach over, my dog is barking, sorry. Reach overhead, and then, you know, sometimes they can only get like right here, which is fine. If they can, grab hands. I have to let my dog in, sorry, she's gonna keep barking if I don't. It's okay, I'm making a video for Seela. Sorry, Seela. Okay, and then we went into cat cow. So tabletop, make sure everything's stacked. And then cat cow, we did 5 of those. And then we went into down dog, stay there for a little bit, and then inhale the right leg up to the sky, come down into a low lunge. So we stayed here in the low lunge. If you tip your pelvis, you feel more of a stretch in your front of your left hip. So we stayed there for a little bit, and then you can, if you want, inch your knee forward a little, come up, and then push your hips forward, clasp your hands behind your back, and open up your chest. Just stay here. I like to stay in each of these for like 30 seconds at least. It feels slow, but it's supposed to because they're stretching. So the music for Fit and Flow, I feel like because it's not like a yoga class, the like acoustic covers playlists on Spotify are really, really good because they're just like regular music but slowed down, and there's lyrics, which I feel like people really like. But of course, that's up to you. So we did that, and then pushing, come back into the lunge, push back up into down dog, and then do the other side. And then when you're done with the other side, push back up into down dog. Again, lift your right leg up. You could even do like, oh, I'm in socks on slippery carpet. Bend your legs so that you know you're opening up your hips and your foot's falling behind you when you're in a single leg down dog. And then coming down for pigeon right here. A lot of people will do pigeon. I don't know how familiar you are with like coaching this kind of stuff, but a lot of people will do it with their knee like underneath, but they really need to make sure their knee comes wider than their hand. And ideally you want your shin parallel, but that's really, really hard for a lot of people, including me. But the wide knee will put the stretch in the outside of the hip, which is where we want it. And they can stay up in a high pigeon, or they can come down, or even down all the way to the ground, whatever feels good for them. And then back up into down dog, and then switch over to the other side. And then back into down dog again. It's kind of like a flow, but we're not really flowing through. And then inch your feet till you're in a forward fold. Now, because I had a couple new girls who just really didn't have much mobility, so I gave them yoga blocks to use for the forward fold so that they didn't have to like rest, lean forward so much. And that was really helpful for them. But also telling them like, it's okay to bend your knees in a forward fold. And then we did a wide leg forward fold, and we took it to each side. This obviously moved slowly. And then heel toe your feet in a little bit and come down into a goddess squat. So I had one girl who couldn't do this at all, and I just had her do a cobbler, which was totally fine. So I'm gonna take off my socks because I'm slipping. So from the goddess squat, we just moved into a low squat single side. There's a yoga word for this, but I don't know it. But you straighten one leg, keep one leg bent, and you're right here. Some people can do this, some people can't. If they can't do it, they can always sit down. They could sit on a block if that's helpful, but they can sit down and just do a wide leg single leg stretch, and then switching over to the other side. So if you're up in the squat, you can just walk your hands over, switch to the other side. And then we moved back into a seated cobbler. Because one of the girls had already done this, I gave the option to do stacked. There's a name for this too, but I don't know it. Stacked. But this, you really have to have some good hip flexibility to be able to do this one. And then I just had them switch sides for the people who opted for this. And then because we were a little short on time, we didn't do the single leg stretch, but the idea was it's just this one, the figure four. And figure four, and then lay on their back, knees to chest. And then we just took both legs over to the left, and then tee your arms out and look over the opposite way from where your knees are, and then switch sides. And then we did Savasana. One of the girls was not able to do pigeon, so I had her do just a figure four on her back right here, which helped a lot. She was having a hard time with down dog in general. So if you have any questions, I don't know how familiar you are with coaching this kind of stuff, so I didn't really know what to explain, but that's, hopefully you can interpret what I wrote. But if you have any questions, just let me know. And feel free to change it up, of course, however you want to. Okay, have a great class. Talk to you later. Bye.